was pretty and it fit right in. Hi, everyone. The bells are about to play. I've delayed our time a little bit because our piece is short. We're doing one piece, and it's short, and I don't want anybody to miss it. But we'll proceed now. Our song today is called Cantad al Señor, song to the Señor. A little Christmas song. I always feel like it's a little bit like one of those gentle Mexican songs with some rhythms under it and so on. So it's a very sweet song, and I know that you'll enjoy it. So it's short, so don't miss it.
Welcome to Theater and Universalist of Mount Airy. We are a people of words, but not only words. Lots of hugs and sometimes dancing in the aisle. We are Unitarian Universalists, a religion that embraces all faiths and none. We're made of diverse people holding differing views and hold the idea that religion makes us better people, or that it should. We are here to help you find and embrace the vibrancy of life. And when it can seem scary and lonely, to have others to strategize with, to help us make the world a better place. As anthropologist Margaret Mead said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. We believe that ultimately our faith can make us stronger. We are a safe space and embrace people of all races, gender expressions, and sexual orientation. If you're a seeker, you are in the right place. I'm Janet Mason, and I'm glad to be a worship associate in this wonderful and spiritually vibrant congregation. I'm joined today by our wonderful Reverend McKinley Sims. We thank our religious educational professionals for the creative program offered to our young people, Elizabeth Ann Airy and Jill Sutherland. We also thank our pianist, Len Reeser, and also our choir, led by Monica Alba Rodriguez, and our restoration ringers, our handbell chorus, led by our music director emeritus, Jane Holting. And we offer gratitude, as always, to our audiovisual wizard behind the curtain, Mike Foy. I also want to thank Jane Hain and Chris Kenty, who do the decor. Thanks to everyone for sharing your gifts with us today. We welcome everyone watching a live stream or Zoom. We hope you are here. Those of you who are here will join us for coffee, snacks, and conversation downstairs following the service. There's a lift in the foyer if you have problems navigating the stairs. If you're new to our building, the bathrooms are located downstairs, just to the left of the elevator. Please also note our event flyer inside your order of service, and then communications cards in the pews. We really want to know you and hear about your needs and interests. Thank you for coming to be with us, whether you were here this morning for the very first time, or if you've been a faithful member of this community for years. Whatever your convictions or doubts, your personal life choices, and wherever your deepest spiritual yearnings have led you. Let's gather as a beloved community and take a breath together as we enter worship.
Thank you, Janet. We're going to light our chalice this morning. Light the chalice. We're going to get help from Alan and Clarabelle to help light our chalice. We light a chalice in Unitarian Universalism as a symbol of our faith tradition. We have words in your order of service, and I'm going to invite you to read along with me. Hi. I'm going to hand this to you, Dad. We are in the season of Advent in the Christian calendar, so I'm going to invite you to read these words as we light our chalice here and our Advent candles. Would you read with me? In this holiday season, may we find joy inside ourselves. May we be joy for those around us. And may we renew our commitment to bring peace with justice to our community and the world. Thank you. Good job. Our opening hymn is number 163, For the Earth Forever Turning. If you're here in person, I'm going to invite you to rise in body or in spirit as we sing number 163 in the gray hymnal with the lyrics on the screen, For the Earth Forever Turning. Thank you, friends. As we move deeper into our service of building beloved community, we're going to do our joys and sorrows ritual. So for those of you who have been here before, you know the drill. If this is your first time, I invite you to come up if you're willing, up to this table here at the front, grab a stone from the basket that is here or at the rear of the sanctuary. Take a second, let that stone become a prayer, a wish, a joy, or a sorrow. Drop it into the bowl that symbolizes this community. And then if you have something especially pressing and you want to talk, right into this microphone that's definitely on, and share with us what your name is and what you're feeling, what you're experiencing this week. Please be mindful that we are streaming to the internet. It is not just us here in the sanctuary, but we're not going to Times Square. It's just, it's not just us here. We invite you to come as you are and share whatever you will, especially if you just want to sit in the pews and listen to some music. That's fine as well. Come, whoever you are, the table of joys and sorrows is open.
Good morning, I am Jane, and I'm here to tell you I've almost finished with my year of mourning. I've been doing healing through this wonderful book on healing from grief and doing my angel cards and just connecting with people, especially here at church. And I will visit Joe's grave on the 19th, and then I'm going to Cape Cod for a week to be with friends because that's one of my spirit wonderful places. So I wanted to wish you all an early Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and a healthy, peaceful year ahead.
Hi, my name is Paul, and I just wish to lift up the memory of my sister Berta, who died 3 years ago this past Friday, and the brother of my wife Jenny, who died 1 year ago tomorrow. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sandy. I'm a member here, and I want to ask a favor if anybody could help. They're building our whole senior community building of 70 apartments around us. And it's been on for months now, and we're getting pretty tired of it, but they haven't got inside yet. But they will get inside starting next month, from what I have heard. And I'm going to need some help if I can get some. If anybody wants to come over, just once if you want, and just maybe it won't be for more than an hour or so. Just maybe to hold the spirit level, you know, because I've got to take apart some of my furnishings. And if you can do that, my name is Sandy, and you can see me downstairs. Thank you.
Hey everybody, I'm Monica. My sister's birthday was on Friday, so I'm just wishing Dee a happy 34th.
Hi, everybody. There's always this balance to be maintained. On the one side, I've had not one cousin, but two cousins who have died in the past, 6 weeks. They're sisters. And then, on the other hand, there's a new baby that's been born in our family. And then it's a pleasure to be able to work with the bells and to be able to share the vibrations of the bells with all of you, and hope that you can take in the sweetness of the bells and what that has to offer us. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Annie, and I'd like to send out big love to Gary Sobolo.
Hi, everybody. I'm Janice, and this is, who are you?
Grandma. Hi, everyone. I'm Grandma, and I come from Philadelphia, and Grandma never passed away, Airy, forget about her with God.
Yes. That's right, yeah. So, and this is Alan. I haven't been here in a while since my mom, Grandma Loie, passed away in July. So I thank you all for sending me so much love. These past few months, I've gotten all your cards and texts and emails and even Facebook messages. I really appreciate it. I really felt them. They were just like hugs from each of you. So thank you. And I'm really, my joy is just happy to be back here and singing with the choir again. So really happy about that. And if you can also send some love to my dad, who's in the hospital. He's hanging in there, but just could use some extra love. And we're sending love to Alan's sister, Susan, and my sister, Laura, as well.
Yes.
And your grandmother. Yeah.
Grandma Sylvia. And thank you, everyone, for your thoughts and prayers. My sister's PET scan came back clear. So huge, huge step, and I really appreciate your love. Thank you.
That's my turn.
Okay. You have 2 seconds.
Oh, I did it. Got it. So, in order to get started, let's start with Happy First by coming out here to get
How about
ready.
we take a breath together?
Everybody take them and come out deep breaths with us.
Great job. All right.
Thank you, Clarabelle. Bernadette, and I'm Gary's wife. And I just want to share a moment of being at chemo this week. We were leaving, and I heard my name called, and I turned around, and it was a nurse that I worked with in Delaware County over 10 years ago, and she's in end-stage cancer. from the appendix, which is very, very rare, but it goes all throughout your body. And it was just a beautiful moment to see Gary and her sharing that common ground. And they gave her 6 months to live in the summer, and she's still kicking, and she has a great Irish energy, and she says it like it is, and they're going to get together for lunch, so that's so cool.
I'm Beth, and I'm missing my mother this morning because her birthday is the day after Christmas.
Good morning, I'm Ann. I'm just sending love to the people who maybe can't be with their families now at this time of year, or are losing someone, that they may have the music we have and all the comfort of this great place.
Hi, my name is Bruce, and I had my retirement party at Villanova last Friday. Still have a stack of grading to do, so it's not quite time to totally celebrate, but it was lovely. Linda said, found some quotes from students of mine that made it really special, and got an envelope with 5 Franklins in it. 5 $100 bills, which I didn't know about, as well as a Villanova lamp, and a lot of people I hadn't seen for a while that came to say congratulations, so that was really special.
Do one. You want to put one more in, Clarabelle? We're going to ask Clarabelle and Griffin to put one in for everyone here and for all those joys and sorrows not spoken out loud, but held in the quiet of our hearts. Griffey, can you put one more in? Do you want to say one more good morning or something? Or you want to say it?
I say good morning.
Yeah, say it real loud. 1, 2, 3.
Good morning, everybody. It's great to see you all. And everybody's right over here with us, and everyone get ready to have some fun time.
Thank you. All right, friends, before we send our kids downstairs for their religious exploration time, can we just all take one more breath together to hold all these joys and sorrows? There's a lot coming up here in this congregation that is both joyful and full of sorrow. So with the holiday times, we have lots of services coming up to fit all those different themes. We have a family movie night coming up this Friday. We have a solstice service Saturday night. Sunday, we have our kids and family-oriented service in the morning. And then we have a blue holiday grief service in the afternoon, if that's something that you feel like you need this year. And then we have our Christmas Eve service. Yeah. So we have lots going on to help give everyone what they need to get through and to enjoy or to mourn in this holiday season. So we hope that you find something meaningful for you. I invite Elizabeth and Terry forward to share reading in a poem with us this morning. As soon as this thing is done.
Good morning, all. I'm Elizabeth Ann Terry, your Director of Religious Exploration. I use the pronouns she, her, and Elizabeth. A poem from Nikki Giovanni, may she rest in power and peace, from 1943 to this year, 2024. And the title of the poem is Ego Trippin'. There may be a reason why. I was born in the Congo. I walked to the Fertile Crescent and built the Sphinx. I designed a pyramid so tough that a star only glows every 100 years, falls into the center, giving divine, perfect light. I am bad. I sat on the throne, drinking the nectar with Allah, I got hot and sent an ice age to Europe to cool my thirst. My oldest daughter is Nefertiti. The tears from my birth pains created the Nile. I am a beautiful woman. I gazed on the forest and burned out the Sahara Desert with a packet of goat's meat and a change of clothes. I crossed it in 2 hours. I am a gazelle so swift, you can't catch me. For a birthday present when he was 3, I gave my son Hannibal an elephant. He gave me Rome for Mother's Day. My strength flows ever on. My son Noah built a new ark, and I stood proudly at the helm as we sailed on a soft summer day. I turned myself into myself and was Jesus. Men intoned my loving name, all praises, all praises. I am the one who would save. I sewed diamonds in my backyard. My bowels delivered uranium. The filings from my fingernails are semi-precious jewels. On a trip north, I caught a cold and blew my nose, giving oil to the Arab world. I am so hip, even my errors are correct. I sailed west to reach east and had to round off the earth as I went. The hair from my head thinned, and gold was laid across 3 continents. I am so perfect, so divine, so ethereal, so surreal, I cannot be comprehended, except by my permission. I mean, I can fly like a bird in the sky. Nikki Giovanni.
So we're going to invite our children of all ages who would like to go downstairs for religious exploration. And instead of singing our usual song, Lynn, I'm wondering if we can do Spirit of Life as a song to close that out in honor of Nikki Giovanni and all those joys and sorrows shared. Mike, can we bring up the lyrics to number 123, Spirit of Life? I want you to remain seated for this, but feel free to sing along with Spirit of Life. Thank you, friends. We're going to do our offering now, and then we'll hear from Janet, make sure we're doing the right order. So our offering goes to 2 different places when we pass the plate here in the sanctuary. If you're new here, anything that you put into the plate that is paper or checks goes towards the operating fund of this congregation. Any pocket change or anything you put into the white envelopes that say change for change on them that are in the pews goes towards a different organization each month. And for December, it is the African American Museum of Bucks County. So we invite you to give as generously as you will, and we're going to give back some wonderful meditative music from Lynn Reeser in return. If this is your first time with us, there's no expectation that you give anything other than perhaps the yellow contact form that's in your pews to let us know how you found us and how we can support you. The offering of financial resources will be gratefully received, and our gift of music given in return.
Thank you, Lynn. That was really beautiful. And good morning. And it's great to be here together. I'm a practicing Buddhist, if not a card-carrying one, and I select Buddhism as my root religion in my Unitarian Universalist world. But the fact is that we all exist in the present moment, whether we identify as Buddhist or not. Presence, this month's worship theme, means not thinking of the past with regret or of the future with anxiety or fear. In my experience, presence can increase the love and hope in our lives, something that is needed now more than ever. When I write, I enter a kind of meditative state that is based on presence. Recently, I've been revising my memoir titled Lost. A daughter navigates father lost and discovers what it means to belong. The memoir is about the 5 years after my father died in 2017, a great period of change for me. In the process of writing, I entered a meditative state and imagined meeting my paternal grandmother, someone who died before I was born. I invite you to take a breath with me now and enter this brief excerpt with me. When my parents went to visit my paternal grandmother, Florence, my father would go out with his buddies to one of the many tap rooms marking the corners of Fishtown. The tap rooms, or bars, were known for the cute windows made of squares of glass so thick you couldn't see through them. When I was young, during the few times I'd visit Fishtown, I remember seeing the ladies' entrance sign on the side of the corner bars. This meant the women sat separately from the men. When he was first married and visiting the old neighborhood, my father liked to drink and hang out in the tap rooms with his buddies. When my parents went to visit my father's mother, he went to see his old buddies in the tap room and left his wife and the mother. Maybe they couldn't believe he did this, even if it was a norm for male behavior. My mother told me they sat in the same room in awkward silence. Maybe they were silent because they didn't know what to say. It's also possible my grandmother would have seen my mother as worldly or from another world. My mother had waited until she was 25 to get married. My grandmother married at 17, going on 18, and proceeded to have many babies. Both my maternal and paternal grandmothers worked in factories. My mother worked in the office. My mother had her first and only child 10 years after the death of my paternal grandmother. I still remember sitting in their parlor and looking out the front window into the narrow street where ragged children played stickball. We had nothing to say to each other, my mother had commented when I was a preteen. I think of my grandmother, Florence Jones Mason, sitting in the parlor. Since she died when she was 48, I consider her as having been young. She would be about 15 years younger than I am now. I imagine meeting her. There might have been a dark green couch with small triangular patterns on it. Florence's chubby arm would have rested on the armrest, on top of an embroidered lace doily, covering the spot many arms had rubbed shiny. I would be sitting in an armchair near the front row house, the front window of the row house she lived in. In my mind, there would be no need for conversation. There would be no sentimentality or awkwardness. It wouldn't matter if our politics were different. I wouldn't have to worry about coming out as a lesbian to her and being concerned about her response. There would be no ideological differences to separate us. I imagine us sitting quietly and doing a Buddhist exercise of being together. I inhale suffering and exhale kindness. My grandmother does the same. As we inhale deeply and exhale, we absorb each other's essence and acknowledge we are part of each other. Remember, the present is something we can take refuge in. When we breathe in and out, it can make us stronger. I invite you to take a breath with me now. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Jane. Invite our choir forward. Thank you, choir. A sublime cosmic mystery unfolds on a mild summer afternoon. Everything here, right down to the photons lighting the scene after an 8-minute jaunt from the sun, bears witness to an extraordinary fact about the universe. Its basic properties are uncannily suited for life. Tweak the laws of physics in just about any way, and in this universe anyway, life as we know it would not exist. There are many such examples of this universe's life-friendly properties. So many, in fact, that physicists can't dismiss them all as mere accidents or coincidences. Physicists do not like coincidences. They like even less the notion that life is somehow central to the universe. And yet recent discoveries are forcing them to confront that very idea. Life, it seems, is not an incidental component of the universe, burped out of a random chemical brew on a lonely planet to endure a few fleeting ticks of the cosmic clock. In some strange sense, it appears that we are not adapted to the universe is adapted to us. We're going to do some science timey-wimey stuff today, so I need you to stay with me and know that I am not a scientist. I'm going to do my best to explain what I seem to understand. But at the heart of all of this science talk is this theological question. What does it mean to be present and to love? To love each other, to love ourselves, to love God, to love the earth, to love our neighbor. What does it mean to be present and to love in our lives, in our world? Right? Buckle in. Let's get timey-wimey. Our universe is roughly 13.8 billion years old. Our Earth is approximately 4.5 billion years old. It's a baby. If the whole Earth history was a 24-hour day, humans have been on the planet for just a few minutes, and all of recorded human history has been 3 seconds. Our individual lives are the blink of an eye in the grand scale of Earth time, of universe time, right? So given the immense progress that has happened in the last 300 years, that's downright awe-inspiring. And given the climate catastrophe that has been created in the last 150 years, that's downright depressing, right? And yet, we can choose to be awed by a world of magnificent beauty and diversity and complexity, of everyday miracles that are extraordinary when you stop and look at them. And we can choose to be awed by the unexplainable, the inexplicable, and even the unbelievable. Or we can try to understand them, which is what our scientists do. Our ancient ancestors used their best scientific reasoning to try and explain the world, to try and understand it as best they could. And they wrote this story about how the universe was created with light and dark, with water and earth, with animals and plants, and then humans. And for 5,000-year-old poetry, it's actually a pretty good portrayal of evolutionary history, right? This is the book of Genesis, if you're familiar with it. They got the time scale a little bit off. 4.5 billion years is not exactly 7 days, but you know. They were using their oral stories and their belief to understand the world, that a creator created a creation to be in cohabitation with the natural world, that humans were tasked with being good stewards, and that they were to be reminded of great mystery and great awe whenever they looked up at the stars in the sky. Their theory of the world and their theology of humanity was that the world, the universe, is mysterious and awe-inspiring, and that it was created to foster life, our lives. That was the story they told. And as modern physicists and modern theologians are now beginning to wonder, is that in fact what our universe is for? Not that we evolved over millions or billions of years to adapt to the changes in the universe, but that the universe adapted and changed to foster us. That the universe grew and changed to orient itself towards more beauty, complexity, and diversity in life that could be sustained in this immeasurable expanse of the vacuum of space at 2 degrees Celsius above absolute zero, full of burning balls of gas and fantastic energy. That is what I would call a miracle if I were simply choosing to be in awe of it. But if we were trying to understand it, as scientists want to do, science wants explanations to measure and observe and test and prove. The idea that our universe might not be this big, unforgiving vacuum system, that it might actually be slanted towards fostering life, it's not something we've figured out how to test for yet or how to prove, right? There's an element of faith to this, doing our best guess. So you're probably sitting there saying, well, that's fascinating, McKinley, but what does that have to do with me? What does that have to do with us Americans living in Philadelphia in 2024 with a climate catastrophe? and a probable dictatorship coming to power soon, and about a month of real Earth time threatening all that we hold dear, what does that have to do with presence, with love, with me? The answer, of course, is quantum physics and something called the multiverse. Hang with me. Quantum physics is a model of understanding the world that says things are not just one thing, solid, liquid, gas, plasma, right? That things are not fixed, immutable forever, right? They can't change. Quantum physics says that everything that makes up the universe, all of the little atoms that make up everything, is actually wilder and more complex than we could ever know or easily observe. That atoms are not Lego pieces stuck together, but are actually vibrating bits of energy that are held together in this thing called quanta that move around space and time seemingly kind of randomly and in an unexplained way. We've all probably heard of protons, neutrons, electrons. If you had any kind of science education like I did, that's about the max of my science knowledge, but I remember those things. That atoms are made up of molecules, and molecules make up elements, and the elements like carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen make up the stuff of our bodies, the air that we breathe, and the stars in the sky. But scholar Mary Ann Rubenstein says, what quantum physics teaches us is that nothing is itself all by itself. An electron, for example, doesn't have any electron properties on its own. It only becomes an electron when you go to measure it, to look at it, to observe it. And when you measure it, observe it, look at it, it becomes a different electron. Things only become themselves in relationship to other things. Nothing is itself all by itself, and things only become themselves in relation to other things. To name just one example, the human body contains 10% human cells. The rest are some form or another of microbes, amoebas, I don't know what else. These others are 90% of what I am. Nothing is itself by itself. So, if the universe, if our Earth even, is way more beautiful and complex and diverse and confusing and mysterious and awe-inspiring than we could ever have known, certainly than our ancient ancestors could ever have known. If we are not merely individuals, but actually bundles of quantum energy vibrating at ridiculous frequencies, and we only exist in relation to other beings of vibrating quantum energy on a space rock spinning around a star at millions of miles per hour, both of which are also bundles of quantum energy vibrations hurtling through an empty vacuum of space that is in fact not empty, but full of energy that is called dark energy that we can't even get into today, that is making the universe speed up way faster than it should be possible after 13.8 billion years of quantum energy vibrations moving throughout the cosmos. What does that mean? What does that mean for us on how to be present? How to be present to the suffering of others, how to be present to our people, to ourselves, how to put love into this universe that seems to exist to foster life, in loyalty to life, that it's suited to us. Does that mean that the universe loves us? Because here's where it gets really trippy. Quantum theory, that electron is not an electron until we look at it, till we get into a relationship with it. And it's actually a bunch of different possible electrons in the moment before we look at it, right? It could be in one place, it could be in another, it could be spinning this way or spinning this way. But instead, when we look at it, it's here. But it could have been here, or here, or here, or here. Quantum theory says that that electron, before it was observed, is actually in all of those places at once. And this is where the multiverse comes in. You've heard of a universe, one universe, the multiple worlds theory is from 1950, and it states that every observation, every decision, every action that people make in time and space happens all at once. It's not that you flip a coin and it's either heads or tails. It's actually both. When you flip a coin and it ends up heads in one universe, there's another universe where it lands tails. And these two universes travel parallel and congruously through time and space. If you've seen Marvel movies, you know where I'm going with this, right? This has been a big thing in entertainment recently. This leads to a bigger theological question, though. If there's a me who flips a coin in this universe and it lands heads, or a me who flips a coin and it lands tails, if there's more than one me, is there a me at all? And if there's more than one me making different decisions, trying to make the best possible decisions to make the world a better place, right, as a you in the world, do my actions even matter? If there is some other universe where all the other decisions I could make are happening, have happened, and presumably there's a best possible version of our universe, right? Where there's no climate crisis, there's no terrorism, there's no poverty, there's no guns. We've had 10 women presidents by now. And if there are worlds where my partner is not my partner, what does that mean for the love that we have? And if there's a world or universe where I am not the pastor here, what does that mean for the love that we have? So we can take a second and simply be in awe of that mystery, or we can try to understand it. Because one understanding of the why of a multiverse theory is that it is life with a capital L's way of getting it right. That it takes a ton of mistakes to find the best path forward towards beauty, complexity, and diversity in fostering life. That it's actually all a part of big, long history, evolutionary history towards something neater, something greater. And that even the stuff that feels catastrophic, climate change, the dinosaurs, is actually part of a long chain of the universe nurturing us into wholeness. Writer Tim Folger, who wrote that first section of our sermon today, says, call it a fluke, call it a mystery, or call it a miracle. Short of invoking a benevolent creator as our ancestors did in trying to understand why, many physicists see only one possible explanation. Our universe may be but perhaps one of infinitely many universes in an inconceivably vast multiverse. Most of those universes are barren, but some, like ours, have conditions suited for life. So what does it mean that we live in a world suited for life that seems to want to foster us, to steward us, to support us, heck, maybe even love us, into greater beauty, complexity, and diversity towards wholeness? Does it mean that we are not us, that our actions don't matter in this universe? Does it mean the 2016 and 2024 elections don't matter? Does it mean the climate catastrophe doesn't matter because in the long chain of evolutionary history, it's all going to be all right? The book Dark Matter by Blake Crouch asks this question. It's about a main character who is separated from his timeline and goes into another universe and then tries to get back to his spouse. And when he does, he has to wrestle with the question, am I the same person who left? Am I the same one? Spoiler alert, there are other versions. And he wrestles with this quantum universe. And the answer comes when his wife looks at him and tells him, it's you. It's you. Because you found your way back here. You chose right to be here. And I am choosing you. It is our relationship that makes you you and makes me me. Because we do not exist by ourselves, as ourselves, to ourselves, and only for ourselves. We exist in relationship of quantum energy vibrating at a cellular level and moving around space and time, and we exist in relationship with beings, with each other, with other souls, with other beloveds. And we exist in a relationship with the earth, with the universe, with the cosmos, with a world that seems to like us, if not love us. So how can we choose to be present to that love and choose to pour love back into it? To take care of the earth, to take care of each other, to make the best possible decisions we can, to make this timeline and this universe the best possible version. Reverend Molly Hausch Gordon, UU minister, says, here's the thing. Humans in Western culture often need to feel like there's an upward arc to history and some promised arrival in order for there to be meaning in our lives. But I believe the place we are going is just around the sun on a miracle of a planet. And I want to tell you that we are still alive in a world that is so beautiful and so brutal all at once, and always has been. And it is all drenched in meaning, no matter where it's headed. And it matters that we love each other well, and that we drink up the beauty and resist the brutality. It matters. Friends, we exist to be present to each other, to our suffering, to our love, to our earth. We exist in a universe that seems to want to foster life, and we exist in a relationship to that nurturing of wholeness. So may our vibrations do just the same, pouring love back into the world here in the present through our relationships. From the very foundations of everything, may we make the best possible decisions with our presence here in this miraculous, mysterious universe, and in all the other ones too. May it be so. Amen. Let's take just a few moments of stillness, just let that sink in. Friends, we get ready to extinguish our chalice here in the sanctuary. We invite you to do that at home. And for those who are here present, we have coffee hour downstairs. We also have ways to get involved and give back. Barb McPherson is doing a little fundraiser for our community food pantry downstairs that we invite you to check out, and to use the bathrooms if you need to downstairs. Whatever you need to do to be present in this moment, in this universe. Friends online, there will be information on slides that are coming up and about all the upcoming holiday services that we've spoken about. The words to extinguish our chalice are from Elizabeth Sell Jones. Janet, can you help me extinguish the chalice? Sure. I invite you to read these along with me as Janet extinguishes our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our closing hymn is number 1068 in the teal hymnal, Rising Green. We're going to sing verses 1, 2, and 4. Verses 1, 2, and 4 of 1068, Rising Green. We invite you to rise in body or in spirit and sing.
My soul like
Thank you all for being with us today. May we go forth with love and blessing to be a blessing to the world. May it be so. We hope to see you at some of our upcoming holiday services. Go in peace, friends. Amen.